Good day, everyone. I'm William Shak, and together with my teammate Mo Jun, we'll be presenting our case study on Starbucks reinvention strategy with a particular focus on how data analytics and technology have driven organizational change. I'll first introduce Starbucks and its key change initiatives before discussing the role of data analytics and technology and their operational and performance impacts. After that, Mo Jun will cover organizational culture, implementation challenges, stakeholder privacy issues, and the conclusion. So why did we choose Starbucks? We selected Starbucks because it provides a recent and well-documented example of large-scale digital transformation in the retail industry. In 2022, Starbucks launched its reinvention strategy to improve customer experience and operational efficiency through greater use of data analytics and technology. Throughout this presentation, we'll examine how these initiatives were implemented and evaluate their impact on operations, business performance, and organizational culture. To provide some context, Starbucks is currently the world's largest coffeehouse chain, operating nearly 41,000 stores across 89 markets. As of 28 September 2025, it generated approximately $37 billion in annual revenue and had around 33 million active US rewards members. With such a large customer base and digital ecosystem, Starbucks is able to collect vast amounts of transactional and behavioral data, creating a strong foundation for data-driven decision-making and innovation. Let's now look at the key change initiatives under Starbucks reinvention strategy. Originally launched in 2022 and later expanded into the triple shot reinvention strategy, the strategy focuses on improving customer experience and operational excellence through data and technology. As highlighted on this slide, our analysis focuses on three main initiatives. The first is customer analytics and personalization, which uses customer interaction and behavioral data to better understand preferences and deliver tailored experiences. The second is operational analytics, which leverages transaction and workflow data to improve store efficiency. And finally, workforce optimization uses staffing and demand data to support better labor allocation and enhance service delivery. Now, moving on to customer analytics and personalization, Starbucks' digital transformation actually started much earlier with the launch of Starbucks mobile app and Starbucks Reward Program in 2009. These platforms don't just allow customers to place orders or earn rewards, they also generate valuable data. Starbucks is able to collect information such as purchase history, visit frequency, product preferences, and even the time of day customers typically make purchases. However, before the reinvention strategy, much of this information was siloed across different systems and difficult to turn into meaningful insights. At the same time, Starbucks faces intense competitive pressure and changing customer preferences, making traditional approaches less effective. Now, to address this, Starbucks enhances its Deep Brew AI platform. As shown in the diagram, customer data collected through the mobile app and rewards program is analyzed by Deep Brew to identify behavioral patterns and segment customers more effectively. Instead of offering the same promotion to everyone, Deep Brew can generate personalized recommendations by combining factors such as previous purchases, store inventory, local preferences, location, time of day, and even weather conditions. This enables Starbucks to deliver a more relevant customer experience while strengthening loyalty and encouraging repeat visits. Now, beyond customer-facing initiatives, Starbucks also applies data analytics to improve its internal operations and support employees. One major challenge is that the complexity of its menu. Customers can customize beverages in more than 170,000 different ways, and these highly customized drinks require additional preparation time. Now, during busy periods, this created operational bottlenecks, longer waiting time, and even increased pressure on baristas. Now, to address these issues, Starbucks developed the Siren system as part of its reinvention strategy. The system uses operational data such as transaction volumes, peak data periods, and workflow metrics to redesign store layouts and simplify beverage preparation processes. In addition, Starbucks expanded the use of Deep Brew beyond customer personalization. It now supports predictive analytics, including preventive maintenance for connected equipment and forecasting demand to improve workforce planning. The goal is not simply to automate work, but to use data and technology to optimize workflows, allocate staff more effectively, and free up more time for meaningful interactions between baristas and customers. Now let's look at whether these data-driven initiatives actually translated into business performance. Starting with the graph on the left, we can see that Starbucks revenue has generally increased from 2022 to 2025, indicating that the company continued to grow despite operating in a highly competitive market. On the right, active US rewards membership also show a steady upward trend. This is particularly important because every additional rewards member generates valuable behavioral and transactional data. The larger the membership base, the richer the data set that Starbucks can use for analytics and AI-driven decision making. In other words, Starbucks create a positive feedback loop. More customer uses this digital ecosystem, more data are collected, and those data allow the company to deliver increasingly personalized experiences, which in turn encourage even greater customer engagement. Now, however, it's also important to critically evaluate the results rather than assuming the transformation was entirely successful. Although revenue continued to grow, the operating margin shown on the left here is actually steadily declined since 2023. This suggests that investment in digital transformation, together with other business challenges and rising costs, did not immediately translate into higher profitability. On the right, we can also observe changes in workforce numbers. While technology is often expected to improve efficiency, a reduction in employee numbers should not automatically be viewed as positive outcome. It may also reflect increased operational pressure on frontline staff or changes in the way work is organized. Now, these findings reminds us that implementing data analytics and AI is not just a technical exercise. Organization must also manage the human side of change, ensuring that employees adapt successfully and continue to feel supported throughout the transformation. Overall, Starbucks demonstrated the potential of data-driven innovation, but its experience also shows that long-term success depends on balancing technological advancement with organizational culture and employee well-being. So, while Starbucks has made significant progresses in using data and technology to transform its business, the evidence suggests that the biggest challenges may lie with people rather than the technology alone. With that, I'll hand over to my teammate who will discuss the organizational culture implications of Starbucks' reinvention strategy.
I'm A2 MGT and I'll continue with the presentation. To understand why the technological transformation triggered such intense resistance, we apply three levels of culture: visible artifacts, espoused values, and underlying assumptions. As Shines argues, technological change that alters surface elements without addressing deep-seated cultural layers will produce severe organizational friction. Let's look at level 1, visible artifacts. Prior to digital transformation, Starbucks artifacts were warm, artisanal, and deeply interpersonal. You saw baristas writing names by hand on paper cups, having casual conversations, and managing store layouts designed for relaxation. Post-transformation, these artifacts were completely disrupted. Handwritten cups were replaced by printed adhesive ticket labels. The physical space was reorganized with heavy mobile pickup lanes and digital menu screens. Baristas' scheduling was shifted to predictive algorithm systems. The visible, touchable surface of Starbucks shift from a cozy, relationship-driven craft cafe to an optimized, transactional-driven fast food assembly line. This shift at the surface level created a massive clash with the deeper cultural layers. At level 2, Starbucks' espoused value emphasized human connection, partner dignity, and a human-first experience. Leadership repeatedly framed the Siren system and Deep Brew as helpful sidekick meant to relieve administrative work so partners could focus on customers. But at level 3, the deepest level of unconscious underlying assumptions, baristas held a deep belief that their identity and value were grounded in coffee craft and human connection. When algorithms took over product recommendations and strictly tracked their performance metrics, baristas felt their relational skills were minimized. The unconscious assumption that I am an artisanal partner was directly crushed by a corporate reality of I am a machine metric tracker. This gap between the stated values and actual lived experience fuel widespread resistance. This cultural friction manifested as direct workplace resistance. The Starbucks Worker United's unionization movement widely spread. Baristas spoke up, describing the pressure cooker experience of making complicated drinks as trying to defuse ticking time bomb. They demanded better hours, higher pay, and fair labor practices to address understaffing. While Starbucks tried to frame the AI as workload helper, they failed to co-design these tools with the frontline staff. When employees view digital technology as an external threat to their craft, resistance surged. Recognizing this severe cultural breakdown, Starbucks underwent a major leadership shift, appointing Brian Nicole as CEO in late 2024 with a mandate to restore the craft, human connection, and community of the brand, pulling back fully automated tool in early 2026. An essential element of this transformation is data ethics. Tracking behavioral data for over 33 million active members raised serious data privacy risks. Starbucks platform compiles detailed profiles overlapping geolocation with purchase history. To mitigate this legal risk, Starbucks strictly complies with the California Consumer Privacy Act, giving customers transparent opt-out mechanism for geolocation tracking and behavioral profiling. However, basic regulatory compliance is not enough. Starbucks must embed privacy by design directly into its deep brew architecture to ensure that customer data is never over collected or exposed. In conclusion, Starbucks case study teaches us a vital lesson in change management. Technological advancement must always align with internal culture. If you change visible artifacts without respecting the underlying assumption of your people, you will face sustained cultural friction. That's all from our group. Thank you.